Welcome in, guys. We got a few day games going on this Wednesday MLB card. Obviously, a lot more tomorrow, so make sure you guys are tuning in early tomorrow. And we have an NBA game finals, game 3 in the finals. We'll get back to that at the end. If you guys tuned in yesterday, you guys know where we're looking there. And make sure if you guys didn't tune in yesterday, stick in for the full thing. 1-on-1 day yesterday, as you guys know, betting dogs will take 1-on-1 days all day long. Had a nice little winner with the White Sox. Plus 145 there, had 2 units there, so that's a little 0.9 units. Tough one with the O's, though, John. Couldn't pull that one out in extras. Had that 3-2 lead, pretty much a lot of that late in the game, blow it late, and then just couldn't get that run in extra innings.
Yeah, Orioles, they let us down last night. Orioles, best road record in the American League. Just only the Braves have a better record than them on the road. Expect them to bounce back today. We'll talk more about that when we get down there. But yeah, want the guys to know, want you guys to understand how to beat the bookie is a sports betting information service, not a tout service. There's a million touts out there. They don't know which end is up. We sent out early yesterday the White Sox, assuming that Judge was going to be out. Now, when we assume something, it's not just a guess in the wind. It's a calculated guess. Information that we're getting. No official word was sent out, but we have a backup plan. The backup plan was to get off the game at a certain price, and that was all explained in our previews. But we're taking 145, as Ben said. We'll take a split every day like that. Yeah. We pick up 9/10 of a unit. We're betting 2 units on all light bets, so pick up $2.90 for every 200 you bet. With the White Sox, lose the 200 to the Orioles, even though it was a tough loss. Again, I'll sign up for that. I'll sign on a dotted line every day. It's about what we did last month. I think we finished ahead 25 units or so. It's about 0.9 units a day over the course of the year. That's about 300 units for the year. Not going to get that return on Wall Street or at your bank. So always happy with a split. Again, if you guys follow the show, or if you're actually a member, you know that we're 90% dogs, 85, 90% dogs. A few more favorites lately. Looks like they're kind of cheating the dogs out of some numbers. So a few more favorites lately. But you take this week, for example, 10-5 again with the favorites last night, 7-1 with the favorites Monday. So for the first 2 days of the week, favorites hitting at 74%. So for us to be stuck just about maybe a unit here or there, more than happy right now. We'll catch that streak. Like I said, we're 1 away with the Orioles from already being ahead. Good for the week. I think we get that back today. Got a couple of good spots. But again, sports information service, guys, all day long. We're following the Judge story. Boom, as soon as he's in, we get that information out to you. We're looking at the rest of the information during the course of the day. Altuve for the Astros was assumed he was going to be playing. He didn't play. That's it. That goes right into our previews. Chapman, he's a late scratch. Sports information is power. Just like I said, get the Judge info early. We take plus 145 on that line. At game time, the best you could take is 125. Here's what that 20 cents means. That's not 20 cents. But think of it. It's 20 cents on every dollar you bet. You're a $100 better, it's $20. You're a $1,000 better, it's $200. This is what adds up over the course of the year. Having that information, that's your power. A lot of baseball today, Ben. Let's get to it.
Yeah, what you said about as far as, with the dogs and, this week, couple of favorites. If you guys remember, April was the slowest start we've had as far as MLB dogs, not just us, but I'm saying as the MLB as a whole, underdogs, they're winning at 36% win rate. That's back up now to almost 42%. A little bit of a divot these first 2 days, but as a whole, this last month of May and start of June has been a bit more dog friendly, and that's how the summer will continue to grow. So hang tight. As we talk about all the time, it's a marathon, not a sprint. First game on the card, John, D-backs versus the Nats. Arizona now in that first place in the NL West after Dodgers blew a lead yesterday. Davies versus Corbin. Corbin's last 2 starts haven't been the best. 10 runs, 3 homers, 11 1/3. Both of those on the road. His last 3 home starts, all quality starts. Did give up 5 runs in 5 innings versus D-backs last year. Granted, a bit better pitcher this season. And then Davies had 2 starts back, second one back. Pretty solid, 3 runs in 5 2/3 versus Colorado. Had allowed 2 runs in 5 innings versus the Nats last year. this is this Arizona team playing pretty well. Obviously, second best record in the NL. Have that NL West lead right now. Nats, they've been struggling 2-6 their last 8. A little bit of drop off at home. Give the pitching edge to Corbin here. Just the Nats with him on the bump and what he's been doing at home. Lean there. It's tough to go against this D-backs team, though, John. I mean, they've been playing pretty well.
I won't go against them. Let me address that because the sharp money is against them again today. This game opened 141 last night on the overnight. Right now, you're looking at 120 both at Circa and Sports 411. So we talked about yesterday, if you watched yesterday's show, the Sharps won 3 games I just did not want to touch. This was one of them. They were on the Nats, they were on the Reds, and they were on the Tigers. So they do pull out the Reds game, but the Reds score 3 in the 9th to win that game. But again, 2 out of 3 losers. I didn't see the value in the 3 teams, so I don't just bet what the rest of the Sharps bet. Here's a game that, if anything, at this point, I'm leaning towards Arizona a little bit. I'll give Corbin a slight edge, just the slightest. Corbin, we started betting on him a couple of times. He strung together 4 quality starts. Last 2 starts, not so much. Davies coming back from the injury. He's yet to get back rolling. The Diamondbacks are just a much better team. Best record in the National League. They're $1.20 favorite, just $1.20 at the worst home team in the National League, without the Nats having a big pitching advantage. Gurriel's missed the last couple of games. He leads the team in batting at .310. If I knew he was in, it would be Arizona or no one for me against the Sharp side. The rest of the Sharps, they're on the Nats.
Yeah, this Nats team, they're hitting top 4 in hitting this year, but bottom 3 in that bullpen ERA. They do give up runs late in the game. So even if you give that good start from Corbin, could get shaky late if it's a tight one. Next one.
What happened to them yesterday? They jumped 4-1 lead in the first. You get into that bullpen, Arizona blows it open. It's a 10-5 game. Just got to lean to Arizona. Best record in the National League. Real good on the road. Nats not getting it done home. Just not a big enough pitching advantage, if there is one. Just remember what Corbin was last year. Now, he hasn't fallen back into that just yet, but he's not the guy that had that 4 quality starts in a row. Arizona or nobody for me would want to have Gurriel in the lineup.
Then we had Dodgers at Cincinnati. Talk about a blown lead last night. Yep, Reds come in to steal that game last night. It's Syndergaard versus Williamson today. Syndergaard on the road, 0-2, 9.90 ERA. Team's hitting .350 in his 5 starts so far. So can't back him on the road. It's definitely Reds here or nothing. Williamson, first career start, 2 earned runs, 6 2/3. Been pretty good. This is Reds team maybe starting to get
out. Rays minus 122.
Sending that out.
Guys, you're catching it here live, right in the middle. We're shooting this video, this podcast at 11:37. It is right now. Just saw Sports 411 move the line. All the rest of the spots, you get anywhere from 123, 124. We're going to lay this game, and I'll tell you why when we get down to it.
2 units, correct?
2 units on the Rays.
All right, guys, that just got out to you VIP guys, so hopefully you're getting that in as we speak.
Well, they won't get it as we speak. They'll already have it.
Yeah.
Up for till about 1 o'clock. But we're going to be on the Rays, and like I says, we'll wait till we get down there. Let me just punch it in and into the actual website for our other guys. Go ahead, man.
Yep, we'll get back to this Dodgers-Reds game. So Syndergaard can't back him on the road. Williamson, couple of starts. Last one was pretty solid. Reds, they went on that losing streak, 4-game losing streak. Prior to that, their bats are red hot, and now they match it again with 8 runs. Big total on this game, sitting at 11 for a damn good reason. I feel like both pitchers about to get rocked. Probably be another shootout in Cincy, much like yesterday's 9-8 game. Reds did call up De La Cruz. If you guys haven't heard about him, number 4 prospect in all of baseball. A lot of hype around the guy. And looked good yesterday. 1 for 3, couple of walks. I like that they called them up in this series while Dodgers are in town. For a small market team, that's the kind of things you need. Way to get a spark in the ballpark, spark in the clubhouse. So we'll see if that carries over in anything. They're only 5 games out of first. I mean, it's the NL Central, not very competitive. So With the Cardinals having a down year, could be something interesting there for Cincinnati. Do the Dodgers lose 2 in a row against a team they dominated the last couple seasons, won the last 9? Going to be tough, but with Syndergaard, no way can you lay Dodgers as a favorite here. This is Reds all the way, John.
Just what I yelled out, auto fade. His road stats similar to what Manoah was doing. Syndergaard has good stats at Dodger Stadium. I think I can have good stats at Dodger Stadium. It's a pitcher's ballpark. This guy goes on the road. It's terrible. Cincy, a hitter's ballpark. Cincy just keeps fighting. They've been doing this all along. They had a little dry spell against Milwaukee. Milwaukee's a team that had their number. Dodgers had their number up until yesterday. Had won 9 straight. That was one of the reasons that kept us off the game. Also, the fact that Dodgers had lost 2 in a row, had the day off before, while the Reds won a tight one, 2-0 their day before. But in this spot, just can't want Syndergaard. All of a sudden, Dodgers not crushing the ball, hitting just 220. Let me get that number, 229 versus left-handed pitching. Just worked the number here. I took this for 1 unit. I wasn't there for the wedding. Don't want to be there for the funeral. 1 unit on the Reds, a home dog, plus 140 against the worst road pitcher in baseball right now, Syndergaard.
Yeah, the worst road pitcher in baseball. I mean, baseball is obviously a mental game. If you guys saw that comment from him last week saying he would give up his firstborn son.
Kid, that's fucked up. I don't want to be this guy's kid.
Yeah, so obviously he's not feeling 100%. And when you don't have a pitcher with confidence, bad situation to be in. Mets at Braves, next matchup. Great pitching matchup, great divisional battle, which Braves have had the Mets number. They've now won 9 of the last 11 meetings. Had a little extra spice in it yesterday. Pete Alonso chirping, get the Braves chirping. Scherzer versus Morton. Scherzer looking back. 3 of his last 4 starts are quality starts. Only 3 earned runs in 25 innings, 28 Ks, 4 walks. Did have solid numbers against Atlanta last year. They won 3 of the 4 starts. Not the best numbers at Atlanta. Gave up 8 runs in 12 innings. Has had a little bit of road struggles this year. Granted, some of that was in the beginning of the season. Recently been a bit better. And then Morton, last 2 starts, just solid. 5 runs in 12 1/3, 18 Ks, 6 walks to give up 4 runs in a loss versus the Mets earlier this year. Don't want to go against this Braves team in this divisional battle. Yes, it's a big number. Yes, Scherzer's been looking solid, but the road numbers scare me off on that a little bit. Braves have their number, and they're playing good baseball right now. Mets are not. They have now lost 4 straight, scoring just 2.25 runs per game. Braves have all momentum right now. I imagine they keep it rolling in this matchup.
That's what's keeping me off this game because I don't make the number this high. Scherzer, he's the Mets ace. He's pitching real good baseball. He'd come back, got lit up by his old squad, Detroit, his first start back. Since then, pitching real good baseball. Morton, we actually bet against him the last time out in Arizona. So he hasn't been great his last couple. He's the weak link in Atlanta, which, I mean, compared to the rest of the pitchers that they have. So Mets ace going against Atlanta in a must game for the Mets.
Yeah.
Just can't do it. Mets now batting $164 this week, just not scoring. You got to put together runs. They got home runs. They're doing it by the long ball. Got to put those hits together. So a little bit high on the number. If it got high, it just would have to back the Mets for the Scherzer effect, for the advantage that he'll have pitching. But tough to go against the Braves. They've won 9 of the last 11 meetings against in this matchup. Very tough. Just the number's a little bit too high. It would have to be Mets or nobody if the line goes higher.
Then we have Giants at Rockies, another divisional matchup with ownership. Giants have won 22 of the last 27 meetings, 8 of the last 11 in Coors, and they got their ace on the mound. It's Webb versus Siebold. Webb, 8 straight quality starts, last 5, 6 runs in 34 innings, 34 Ks, 8 walks. Granted, of those 8 straight quality starts, his worst one was this past one. I mean, it's 3 runs, still a solid outing. Siebold, he's coming off a solid start, holding the D-backs to 1 run in 5 1/3. Prior to that, gave up 15 runs in 12 2/3 in his 3 prior starts. Pitching advantage, pitching mismatch, obviously, for Webb here. Even had good numbers at Coors last year. Been a little bit worse on the road, 3.66, but still a solid pitcher. Massive number on this game. Can't lay that with San Francisco by any means. Tempting to take Colorado here in a divisional matchup. There's just that off chance that Webb has an off day in Coors Field. Not too crazy, despite how lights out he's been. But we need more on that number to get behind Siebold here.
Yeah, San Fran ace against a a spot starter, whatever you want to call Seabold.
Yeah.
San Fran, they got healthy last night. Get Conforto back, and Estrada and Peterson both come back off the IL. You can expect more fireworks off Seabold in Coors. San Fran just owns the matchup. Again, yes, the number is way too high. No question about it. Just can't back the home dog in this pitching mismatch with a team that absolutely owns them.
Then we have Twins going to Tampa Bay. They get blanked yesterday. Rays 7-0 win there. Twins did win 4 of 6 last year. Lopez versus Armstrong. Armstrong's going to be an opener for another Tampa Bay patented bullpen game. And Lopez, last 2 starts, brutal, 10 runs, 13 hits, and 11 and a third. Granted, though, both at home. He's had 6 road starts this year. He's 1-2, 3.00. 4 of those road starts are quality starts. The 2 that weren't, one was 5.1 shutout innings, and the other one he got roughed up by the Dodgers. So just one bad road start this season. My lean here would be to Minnesota. I think Lopez has been giving them some good outings on the road. Obviously making that big switch NL to AL this year, but has in the Marlins, they face Tampa Bay every year. So a little bit of experience there, decent numbers there. Ballpark he's pitched in before. Lean a little bit here. Just tough to go against this Rays juggernaut at home. 27-6 at home. So not something I'm dying to get out in front of.
Well, Ben is on the side with the sharp guys, and I'm against both of them. This game opened 138 last night. That's why we were letting it go down as low as it would go. So once I saw the bounce up, this is how, again, if you're a How to Beat the Bookie member, sometimes we'll get a bet at 8 o'clock in the morning. We know that game is going to move. Other games will wait. If it's going away from us, we'll let it go as far as it can. I think it went about as far as it can. Tampa Bay, the best team in Major League Baseball, the best home team in Major League Baseball. Yep. Twins don't play a ball on the road. Twins, last 4 games, 4 runs. That's 1 run a game, even if you don't know math. Buxton on the IL. Royce Lewis, he missed yesterday. He had just come back. Gallo's on the IL. This is a team that can't hit. Lopez, as Ben said, Tampa Bay and Miami play every year, kind of like the Yankees, Mets. That's that little rivalry that they have. So when a team has seen a pitcher advantage hitter, the more a hitter sees a pitcher, always going to give that look. There's the cases where pitchers dominate a hitter, absolutely. Then it's the pitcher's advantage. That's not the case for Lopez. Lopez last year, what did he give up? 4 runs in 7 innings at Tampa Bay. So the edge can only go to the hitters the more they see a pitcher. Just as in each at bat, once I've seen 4, 5, 6 pitches, each pitch makes me a better hitter. I'm just seeing him more. Armstrong, he's got 2 innings. I don't care what he's got. This is what they do, the Rays. Nobody does the opening like they do. 2 innings so far this year. Last year he was 2 3, 4 3, 8. Nothing special. He's going to be out there as an opener, an inning or 2. The bullpen will take over the rest. They shut them out yesterday. They'll do more of the same today with their bullpen. Rays, right now the Rays are second in hitting and scoring. Minnesota, as I told you, 4 runs in their last 4 games total. Low number for the best home team against a team that can't win on the road. I've got the Rays minus 122, and you guys saw it live.
And we have another Central versus AL East matchup, White Sox versus Yankees. Yesterday, White Sox get the win 3-2. They've now won 3 of the last 4 at New York. Chicago playing pretty well now. Won 4 straight, scoring 3.5 runs per game. Yankees lost 3 of 5. They're hitting just $138 this week, but they are getting it done with the long ball, typical Yankee fashion. Lynn versus Vasquez. Vasquez made his debut, 2 runs and 4 2/3 versus San Diego. He made a AAA start since then. He was roughed up there, 4 runs and 4 2/3. Coming back, I really don't like when pitchers get sent up and down like that. No rhythm, no confidence from the front office to the pitcher. And then you have Lance Lynn, who has just been Lance Lynn. I mean, last time out against the Angels, gave up 8 runs, 3 homers, and 4 innings. Prior to that, had some quality starts, but against KC, against Minnesota, some of these bottom-tier offenses, this is a weird game to get a read on. No Aaron Judge. He's been outplaced on the IL, so obviously it's a big, bad bat. Yankees a bit more depth right now. Donaldson and Stanton back in the lineup. We'll see if that has any effect. Can't back Lance Lynn in a hitter-friendly ballpark like Yankee Stadium. But mentioning how they haven't been getting the base knocks, but them getting the home runs, you do not want to be putting him there against a home run hitting team in that ballpark. So it could only be Yankees or nothing. Not jumping out of my seat to back Vasquez. This could be an over game, despite both teams not really lighting up the scorecard lately.
Yeah, so 2 games without Judge, and you already see what he means. Yankees don't score till late in the Dodger game, but they pull that one out, and then yesterday they get held to 2 runs. He's huge, and that's why our bet yesterday was against the Yankees based on that Judge was going to be out. Now he's on the 10-day IL. As Ben told you, 130 something. That's not even. We're not even talking Mendoza line here. But Lynn has just been horrible all year long. He strung together 3 quality starts. But they were against weak teams. We bet against him the last time out with the Angels, and Ohtani and Trout destroyed him. Coming to Yankee Stadium, Vasquez, as Ben said, pitched the game. They brought him up, sent him back down. Now his outing at AAA wasn't great either. The shops are all over the White Sox here, and I just can't back the White Sox in this spot. If it's any lower on this game, I'm sorry, but I'd have to be Yankees or nobody, even with Judge out.
And we have Astros at Toronto. Blue Jays even the series with a 5-1 win yesterday. Good outing out of Gosman, and they're looking to get the same out of Bassett today. Bassett, I mean, you're either getting shutout baseball or he's getting lit up. He's coming off 7.2 shutout innings and a win over the Mets. Prior to that, gave up 13 runs in 10 and a third. 4 of his last 6 starts, he's gone 7+ innings of shutout ball. He did have one against the Stros back in April, 6.1 shutout innings. And then you have Blanco going. He's coming off his first career start. Pretty solid outing, 2 runs in 5 and a third versus the Angels. He does have some relief outings this year. This is Stros or nobody. Both teams coming into this series playing pretty hot. Astros now dropped 2 of 3 in both losses, scored just 1 run. But they're 8-4 their last 12. You have Toronto, 1-5 of 6, scoring just 3.83 runs per game. Clearly a pitching mismatch for Bassett today. But not too big of a number, I feel, for this Toronto team. He's just really not lighting it up offensively.
Yeah, Bassett coming off that real good game. He had a couple of rough starts before that, but before the 2 rough starts, he was pitching lights out. Up in Toronto, Houston, they play well on the road. Altuve, we said, questionable. Chapman, questionable for Toronto. This game opened 151. Right now, you're looking at Sports 411 at -150. Circa at -149. So not much move in this. I think the number is a little high, but that's for the pitching mismatch. People, you more tend to bet Bassett than Blanco. So my lean, because the number is a little high, would be Toronto. Would have to depend on is Chapman and Altuve out, vice versa, both in, both out. We'll see what happens. We'll see where that line goes. If we make a decision on that game tonight. Remember, Houston won the big one, the first one when we were on the first game against Manoah. When they crushed them, always look for that comeback, that bounce back, and we saw that last night with Toronto. Now the series is 1-1.
Then we have Red Sox going to Cleveland. Cutter Crawford getting another start. He started against Tampa Bay, 1 run in 3 innings. Interesting pitcher with Crawford. He's really good out of the bullpen, and they keep trying to stretch him to a starter. I think he had 12 starts last year, and now with Sale going back on the IL, looks like they're trying to stretch him into a starter a little again. So still kind of in that relief 3 to 4 innings we're looking at. Maybe they try to stretch him a little bit more, but every year they try to stretch him to a starter. Last couple of seasons hasn't gone well. So we'll see what happens here against the worst offense in MLB, arguably. This Cleveland team just can't get it done at home either. Bibby gave up 3 runs in 5 innings his last time out. Prior to that, 3 quality starts. Red Sox own this matchup a little bit. Typically seen these ownership trends in these AL East versus AL Central teams. They won 8 of the last 11 meetings. They won the last 4 at Cleveland. Would be a slight lean here to Boston with those ownership trends. Not really wanting to back Cutter Crawford in the starting role, and they're trying to force him back into it. But can't back this Cleveland team at home. Just not getting it done.
Just can't do it, but the sharp guys did. This game opened 115 on the overnight. You're looking at as high as 138 at Circa. I just can't believe how they're pounded the Cleveland team. Cleveland is the only team in the major leagues to be averaging under 3 runs a game at home, 2.82 runs per game, 29th in the major leagues in runs scored. I like Bibby pitching good ball. He's going to definitely get the pitching advantage over Crawford. who, as Ben said, will only pitch a few innings, but they just can't score. Red Sox had a little downtrend against Tampa Bay, but that's what Tampa Bay will do to you.
No.
Come up yesterday, losing 2-0 the whole way. They put on a 5-spot. Red Sox get the win. Number is too high. It's Red Sox or nobody, but I have not made a bet on this game yet.
We have Oakland at Pittsburgh. How about this A's team yesterday? Big move on the Pirates, and the A's get it done. 11-2 win. They had scored just 12 runs in that 5-game losing streak prior to that. Still, ML were 6-26 on the road. This Pittsburgh team snatched a 6-game win streak. They have Contreras on the mound today. He was tagged for 5 runs his last time out. He's 0-3, 6.09 last 6 outings. And then you have Harris, who had a really bad relief outing in April. He gets called back up, made a couple of 2 starts, really good. 2 runs in 10 innings, 10 Ks, 1 walk. Pitching edge, hard to know really what you're getting out of Harris. Only a few starts. The scouting reports start to pick up, might get a bit worse. And then Contreras just not been going well lately. So I could argue a slight edge to Harris, but I'm going to just call it no edge as a coin flip on the pitching matchup. Obviously, as a team, you're looking at Pittsburgh there. Oakland steals 1 yesterday. They stole 2 in a row against Atlanta. Can they win 2 in a row for the 3rd time this year? Not likely, but a big number there for Contreras. Not interested in this Pirates team.
Yeah, yesterday I talked to you guys, and I told you, if anything, I would have bet the Pirates minus 220, which was the opening number. And this is the difference when you are a disciplined professional. 220 wasn't the number. It went up to 240. It went as high as 270. We did not bet that game, and the Pirates lost that game. This is the difference. You just don't lay any number because you think this team is going to beat this team. It's about the number. The number to me today is short again. I've got Oakland so far off the chart. I can't believe they actually put 11 runs up yesterday, but this is baseball. Anything can happen. We go back to last week. Oakland is home. The best road team in baseball come in there, the Atlanta Braves, and they beat them 2 games. Anything can happen. That's why you try to stay away from these tremendous favorites. At right now, it's 11:56. This game starts at 12:35. So you guys probably won't see this until the game starts. This game opened 181. You're looking at 171 at Circle, 177 at Sports 411. So a little difference, but you do see it's gone down. Could not bet the A's in this spot. High number, little lower for me would be the Pirates or nobody. I think Oakland will be happy just to get a win. Again, we come back to that. You got pounded in front of your home fans, 11-2. Expect them to respond. I would like the Pirates today if this was a cheaper number.
Then we have Mariners going to San Diego. Great pitching matchup. Kirby versus Waka. M's get the win yesterday. They now won 4 of the last 5 meetings. Last 3 in San Diego. Seattle, they're 2-5 their last 7, hitting just 213 this week. You have the San Diego team. They've lost 3 of 5 on the homestand. They're hitting just 206 this week. A couple of great pitchers. Kirby, 9 of 10 quality starts, coming off 8 shutout innings his last time out versus the Yanks. And then Waka gave up 2 runs his last time out prior to that 5 straight quality starts. This is going to be a pitching duel. It was an under game last night. 2 teams not hitting. Probably another under game tonight. And can only look at the dog money with Seattle, who've won 4 of the last 5 meetings. I'm going to give a slight pitching edge there to Kirby, just over Waka. It's not too drastic. But like we've seen with Kirby, can't back San Diego as a favorite, not getting it done with the bats.
Neither team is getting it done with the backs. We talked about it yesterday. Going into the other day, I don't know if the stat has changed, but the Mariners had 4 of the top 5 guys that led the league in strikeouts. Waka's been pitching great. Kirby also, a good pitching matchup here. Neither team can hit. I make San Diego a -110 favorite, basically where it's at. We'll let this one go. We got better games to look at than this one.
And we have this Detroit-Philly series. Phillies lead at 2-0. They pull out a 1-0 win yesterday. Nobody scoring there. Detroit now lost 5 straight. They scored just 6 runs, hitting 158 this week. Meanwhile, Philly now, they've won 4 straight, getting it going a little bit. Olsen versus Wheeler. Olsen made his debut. It was pretty solid. 2 runs in 5 innings, 6 Ks, 1 walk. Only problem was no run support. 3-0 loss to Chicago. That's just kind of been the theme here with Detroit, even when they're getting good outings. And then Wheeler, he was cracked his last time out. 7 runs in 3 2/3 versus the Nats. He had a quality start versus Atlanta before that. He does have typically better home numbers. He gets the pitching advantage, but Olsen looks solid in his debut. We'll see if he can follow it up in his number 2 start. this game would be under or nothing for me. Two teams not really getting it done offensively. We'll see if Wheeler can have a bounce-back chicken soup game here against Detroit. It's the pretty ideal matchup for a pitcher not coming off a good start.
Yeah, again, we said it earlier. The Sharp guys were this was the hottest game of the day yesterday. They took it down from 188 to down to 158. They buried the Tigers. I understand it was an overlay just as it is today. No way should Wheeler be a 240 favorite coming off the hammering he took against the Nats. We were on the Nats, by the way, his last time out. Tigers just can't score. They can't score. 156, 158. That's not even a batting average. That's like a fat woman's weight. So just can't back them. It's an overlay similar to the Rocky situation. The number's too high. Just can't back them in this spot. Just as Ben said, expect Wheeler to bounce back from that ugly outing that he had. This is the National League champs. They were in the World Series last year. It's been terrible on the road. They play much better at home. Again, lines and overlay. Just no reason to back a Detroit team that's falling down, cannot hit.
Then we have Casey at Miami. Lyles, who's just been trying to give Syndergaard a run for his money for worst road pitcher in the MLB. 0-4, 9.89 in 5 starts. Kansas City's lost all 12 of his starts. Cabrera, Miami's won 7 of his last 10 starts. He's coming off 6 shutout innings versus Oakland, 10 Ks, 1 walk. He might be the best bad team pitcher. When he faces bad opponents, he always shows up, gives you solid outings. This Kansas City team, they come in now losing 5-6, scoring just 2.6 runs per game. Miami, they've won 5 straight. They're scoring 7+ runs per game. Big favorite for a good reason. Miami are nothing on this matchup. Lyles, 0-12 in his starts. Keep going against it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, exactly. 0-12. Why jump on that bandwagon? 9.8 ERA on the road. Cabrera pitched a real good game his last time out. Miami winning. KC not winning. Miami and nobody. I'm not advocating to lay this big number, but no way in the world do I want KC.
And it's Baltimore at Milwaukee. O's let us down yesterday. 4-3 loss in extra innings. They're 2-2 on this trip, and the AL best on the road so far this season. Then you have Milwaukee, who's been a bit better. They've won 4 of 5. Granted, it was 3 of those were against Cincinnati, so take it with a grain of salt. They are still just hitting 205 this week. Similar to the Yankees, though. They're a team that's all home runs, very little with the batting average. Creamer versus Burns. Burns, he's been solid, coming off a couple of quality starts, 4 runs in 12 innings. He threw 7 shutout innings versus Baltimore last year. And Creamer, solid, 4-1, 2.54 in his last 6 starts. O's have won 7 of his last 9 starts. Said it yesterday, say it again today. I'm not going to overthink it. You're getting dog money with the best road team in the AL. Didn't pull it out yesterday, but when you have a dog and you're taking it to extra innings, we'll take that battle all day long. So this is Orioles and nothing.
All day, every day. Give me the dog in an extra inning game, and we'll take that battle every day. Didn't get the job done yesterday. Burns is good, but he hasn't been dominant. If he was dominant, that's why I would stay out of the way. Cream has been good. A matter of fact, I'm going to say excellent over the last month.
Yeah.
Last month, he's looking at, a 2.54 ERA. What did I mess up here? 2.54 ERA, 4-1 over the last month. Pitch a good baseball. Second best road team in Major League Baseball, best in the American League. Without Burns being dominant, give them a shot. Look, just remember, they were blanked in Cincinnati their last game. Monday night, they come home in the first 9 innings, only get 3 runs. They get the 4th, obviously, in extra innings. Just no reason for them to be this big a favorite over a Baltimore team. Baltimore not getting the respect. Baltimore, Texas, Diamondbacks. The first maybe month or so of the season, 6 weeks, you say now they're playing above their head. These teams are now who they are. Baltimore, Arizona, Texas, these are some of your better teams. They're not the Yankees and the Dodgers. They don't have the name. Don't look at the name. Look at the stats. I took the Orioles in this one, plus 134 earlier this morning.
Yeah, big name teams across baseball having down years. Mets, Dodgers, Yankees, even the Astros, some of these teams. So these teams not getting respect, a lot of value there has been. Just like you mentioned with Rangers, that's next game here. Cardinals at Texas. Rangers lead series 2-0. They're playing red hot right now, 11-2, their last 13. crushing the ball this week, 21-8 at home. Only team better is Tampa Bay. And they got a guy who's been pitching lights out, going 4 of his last 5 starts, quality starts for Gray, allowed over 1 run or less in each. 5-0, .79, just ridiculous stuff we're seeing from Gray. And then Flaherty, actually been pitching very well. Cards have won 4 of his last 5 starts, 2 runs and 12 in the third. Still giving the pitching advantage there to Gray. And they're going to need him to be down the stretch. No DeGrom. That news breaks yesterday. Matt's got to be feeling pretty good. That, they're probably going to get more out of Verlander in his 2-year contract than DeGrom's going to be able to see the field in the next 2 seasons here. So tough blow there for the Rangers, but still the best offense in baseball. Eovaldi and Gray have been giving them great stuff. They've been leading and starting ERA this stretch without DeGrom, and that's partially because of what you've been getting out of Gray. This is Rangers or no one. The guy's been throwing lights out with the best offense in baseball. Yes, Flaherty has been solid, but St. Louis bats not doing much.
Take away the names, just look at the numbers. Texas, as Ben said, best offense in baseball. Nobody's hotter than Gray pitching right now.
Mm-hmm.
Flaherty's pitching good, but not close to what Gray is doing. Texas wins at home. Cardinals are in free fall. Cardinals are nobody, even at the number.
Then we have Cubs at Angels.
I'm sorry, I said Cardinals. Rangers.
yeah. Then we have Cubs at Angels. It's Tejon versus Barria. Tejon was struggling this year. They win his last start. He was solid, but again, against San Diego, worst hitting team in baseball, held with them to 1 run in 5 2/3. They had lost his 8 prior starts. Decent numbers against the Angels last year. And then Barria, 2 starts this year, 1 run in 10 innings, 12 Ks, 3 walks. This Angels team, they get the 7-4 win yesterday. They've now won their last 2. We'll see if they can put a streak together here. Cubs starting to get on the back end of this trip. They've lost 4 of 6, hitting just $180 this week. Tejon, we'll see if he can do it a couple starts in a row. I mean, he got a little bit of a chicken soup bounce back there against San Diego. Be the slightest of leans here to the Cubs, but I'm not looking to back this team if the offense not going. I need to see Tejon show more than just holding San Diego to 1 run.
Yeah, he'd been absolutely brutal, beyond struggling before his last start. Not enough for me to back the Cubs. Cubs have the worst road record except for the Rockies in the National League. Just no reason to back the Cubs here. I'm not on the Angels unless this game was to go a little bit lower. They got Rendon back last night. So yeah, the Angels, look, they're in a position to make the playoffs if they play better ball in this second half. Ben's been calling for their demise as they always go through. Let's see what happens. But yeah, no interest in the Cubs in this one.
And that's the MLB card. We do have an NBA Finals Game 3 tonight. We touched on it yesterday. We can go through it again. Denver obviously blows that Game 2 late. Miami gets the big fourth quarter run. They pull it out. Tough loss there for the Nuggets. Numbers been bouncing up and down, 2.5 and 2s. This is a Miami Heat team who has not lost this Game 3 spot so far in this playoffs. They've stolen at least 1 road game in each of their first 3 series in the front 2 games, and then they've come back and they've won that Game 3 at home, all 3 situations. This Nuggets team, a little bit of road struggles. They had some good road success against the Lakers, and then the back end of that series against Phoenix. Hero still not returning yet. We'll see what happens if he does at some point this series, but you figure you can beat the Nuggets on the road without him. Might not mess it up. As far as the total, a couple of sharp action moves on this, going to the under, dropped a few points, since 214s. This is a lean here to the under on the total. We'll see if that continues. If not this game, next game. At one point in these finals matchups, always go under the rest of the way out. Saw that in that Celtics Heat series. Starts off very high scoring, and then it kind of goes under the rest of the way out at one point once defenses figure out each other. This Game 3, kind of that weird hump in the middle of the series. Miami comes back. You're going to have that home adrenaline, the steal one, chance to go up 2-1. Could be more up tempo. Denver, they were pushing tempo a lot more in their prior couple of series than they did so far in these first 2 games. Part of that, though, is Miami. Miami's very good at dictating pace. We'll see if that continues. On the game, lean a little bit to Denver. Not interested in the side, like the under a bit more.
So just as we're speaking here, Ben, this game is ticked up to 3 in some spots. Half the spots got 2.5. Half the spots got 3. We took 2.5 yesterday. I was waiting to get the 3, but we started to see some 2.5 disappear. Didn't want to miss it. Took the 2.5. You can actually take 3 on this game. I think all the pressure is on Denver in this one. They they gave up game one on their home court. They'd been the best home team, hadn't lost throughout the playoffs, had a comfortable 8-point lead, had bounced back from the Miami, taking an early lead in that game, went up as many as 15, let Miami claw their way back in, went back up by 8, only to go into that fourth quarter. And the Heat do what they do. They just keep coming. They just keep coming. And now they steal game 2 at Denver. Back in Miami, all they could have hoped for was come back 1-1. And that's where they are now. And they've done that without playoff Jimmy showing up.
Nope.
17 points per game in the first 2 games. He's only shot 36.6% the last 4 games. That's the last 2 games in the Boston series, first 2 at Denver. Is he tiring? He's put a lot of minutes, a lot of work. And remember, they had to have the 2 play-in games also. They went through that grueling 7-game series with the Celtics, where Denver only had the 4-game sweep over the Lakers. So they should be the more rested team. But the Heat now, if they can get a game out of Jimmy, they had some other role players step up. Vincent went crazy. Bam's been given a solid game. Denver, as good as they are at home, they have not been a good road team. Throughout the year, during the regular season, they finished under 500 on the road. And while the Heat had trouble covering at home early in the season, they started to play much better at the end of the year and have played better through the playoffs. I took the Heat plus 2.5. If playoff Jimmy comes, they'll win this game outright, and they'll be up 2-1 going into game 4.
Yeah, with Bam Adebayo, what he's been giving them has been massive. It's you're not going to slow down Jokic on the offensive end by defense, but hey, you make him work a bit more on the defensive end. It could have that secondary effect there on the other side of the floor. So just putting pressure on both sides of the ball there for Bam Adebayo. That's huge throughout this series. He continues to be a force, continue to make Jokic work on the defensive end. This Heat series, guys, we'll see what's going on with this game 3. Obviously, you guys know where the read's at. And then we'll be back tomorrow. We'll see what's going on there. MLB split yesterday, but been a pretty good few weeks, been a pretty good month. We'll see. I mean, we'll take the splits all day long. That's dog money. That's what we're looking at. You guys saw the live in action sent out Tampa Bay. So we'll see if there's any more bets added throughout the day, but it happens just like that. News happens, info happens. We're on it. We get it out. If you guys don't want to miss that, you got to go to the How to Beat the Bookie website, howtobeatthebookie.com, or download the app. You can get that in the App Store or Google Play. John, I don't know if you have anything else here. We got a nice little Wednesday card coming up.
Just what Ben was saying. You guys saw it live. We're in front of the computers all day, guys. And let's just show them a real quick. Where are we, Ben? Here, let me see if I can do this. So I turn.
Oh, that did not work. That did not work. Just lost John there for a second. We'll see if he comes back in.
I guess I missed that one. All right, so just scratch that whole part.
I think I'm gonna leave it. That was pretty funny. I think they'll appreciate that one.
All right. Anyway, you guys saw it here. Tampa Bay, a favorite. The number hit the right spot. We're in front of the computers all day long. We're waiting to see where the numbers go. And that's when we talk about all day long, is we're waiting to see where the numbers go, what the lineups are. That's what's making us make a bet. Again, if I had to say, of course Pittsburgh's going to beat Oakland yesterday. It's all about the numbers. They should beat them. If they didn't beat them yesterday, the number was just a little too high for us. The Rays game today, if this game was $1.50, I wouldn't bet the Rays. I think the Rays are going to beat the Twins. Twins can't score. Rays are crushing the ball. Rays great at home. Twins can't win on the road. Twins are banged up. Rays are supposed to win. But if it was $1.50, that's what the line should be at -122. That was the right price to lay. That's where we lay it. So it's all about the price. When we're ready, boom, you guys get that message right to your phone if you're a VIP member. If not, you go on the app. This is a sports betting information service. Service, guys, that's the key words. Preview on every game. Guys, please read the previews. Don't DM me, why did I bet this game? It's in the preview.
Guys, make sure you guys get a part of that service. Like John said, a lot of information you guys are going to get there, always on top of things. And we're going to go get on top of things as we speak. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, and let's make some money, John.
Let's make some money.